Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. And a lot of us witnessed history yesterday. I was watching the F2 pool mining group out of Beijing. They are one of the 5 largest mining pools in the world. They've been in operation since 2013 and have about 2 million active users. And they streamed the final block mined on Periscope. And it was exciting for them because they mined it. So block number 629999 has been completed, and it was an epic moment. So also today I was giving a lot of thought to some questions that Ferdy has given me. I did an interview with him 11 months ago. I can't believe it has been 11 months already. Time really has flown. And if you are following Ferdy, you know he is a great blogger on Coil. Coil is the Ripple-backed platform that pays out streaming XRP micropayments. It's available for anyone who finds the printed word an effective communication tool for them. And he gave me some really good questions. And especially when it comes to XRP, I realized, well, not only from the question and giving it some thought, that not very few people really have their entire head around Ripple, the company, and XRP, the digital asset. I mean, when it comes to correspondent banking, the decline of the banking partners and the capital that it takes to participate in that, and how that XRP eliminates that tied up capital. It saves money, not only just the hard cash that's parked around the globe, but you also are streamlining your business to not have to manage all of that. And then you've got that FX volatility on top of everything else. So I think there's still some confusion as to the use case and utility of the digital asset XRP. And when I saw Sam's video today, now I really just solidified in my mind that a lot of people just don't get it. So there was a halving party on Tonevei's channel. It's nearly 12 hours long, and in his having party, he had a few guests, and just a few of them really understand Ripple as a company and XRP. And I encourage you to go on to Sam's YouTube channel, which is To the Lifeboats, because he unmistakably, with his originality, astuteness, and flair, to make it painfully apparent that there are a lot of so-called experts among the faces of crypto, that their knowledge is just beyond appalling. Now, just some of them stayed quiet or couldn't comment at all in the discussion, especially Joseph Saz. I think he really knows, but he just didn't have the guts to speak up. Tone was caught with his pants down, basically, because 3 of his guests had some knowledge of the progress that Ripple has made, and also XRP, the digital asset, is achieving with a bona fide use case. and they just had a real hard time with it. I'm going to show you a different screenshot from the actual moment. Sam, he had a good time taking this video down and breaking it into nuggets that were really good, because he clarifies where the clarification was a little blurry on the video. Okay, let me show you this picture here. So this is Bilal. Bilal did a really good job. He's under an NDA, he says, so he can't fully be transparent on details, but I think he did his best to explain. And then Mohammed chimed in as well. He's very knowledgeable about the progress Ripple is making in the MENA region, which is the Middle East, Northern Africa region, and they are, Naveen Gupta has really been busy in that part of the world, and there's just a lot of rails being laid. And also, there's one guest that really broke it down the best he could, and he is an investor in the on-demand liquidity exchange, Bitso, and that's Jose. Let me just show you here. Jose Rodriguez really is probably the best in that group to try to explain the facts, but it was still difficult for many of them, and including Jimmy Song, which just surprised me because Jimmy is one of the smartest guys out there, but he just, for whatever reason, even just didn't, I don't think, have a full understanding of what the word remittance meant. So I don't know. You got to watch Sam's video. So Jose is really, did his best. And I think that when you watch Sam's video, you'll further get clarification on the conversational points that took place. Okay, I want you to jump around the world with me because this is the incredible part. There were so many frogs in a well in that halving party that all they need to do is just take a look at what's being said around the world. So today, a new remittance corridor opens up in Bangladesh. And then here we are on a very Bitcoin-centric media site from Brazil, and it talks about the XRP remittance volume up 55% in April 2020 for Mexico. And then let's just pop over to Saudi Arabia, and this is talking about the XRP on-demand liquidity solutions for cross-border payments that the BTC market exchange in Australia is experiencing, and it's just been super, super positive for them. And then here we have Ali, and he is writing on a site from the UK and talking about Mr. Kitao, the CEO of the financial conglomerate in Japan that formed Ripple Asia to promote the usage of XRP. And again, this is another very Bitcoin-centric website. So I just don't think a lot of those guys have any excuse to not know what's going on. Here we are in Germany, May 11th, and it says that more and more companies are using XRP to send money across borders. And last but not least, we have a very good breaking news 3 hours ago that, well, it's actually about 17 hours ago if you go to Flare Networks and see on their Twitter page. But the Daily Hodl about 3 hours ago covered it, and it is that they are preparing to launch smart contracts on the XRP Ledger. This is really great news because this is going to be one of those additional use cases for XRP that make a dent in the world. So the smart contracts are designed to function like contracts written on paper, except they are processed without the need of an enforcer or arbitrator. They can contain specific terms that are then digitally stored in code on the distributed ledger. And once the conditions of the agreement are satisfied, the transaction, such as the payment, is executed and becomes irreversible. So the project that the Flare Networks has named this is the Coston testnet, and it has two goals in mind. It's going to be a testbed for developers who want to utilize Flare with XRP to develop and test applications before risking actual value, and also to test various functionality and smart contracts that will form the core utility of the Flare network. So Flare's native token will be an algorithmic stablecoin created in part by burning XRP, and payments for the contract can be made and received in XRP via Interledger, which will be integrated with Flare. So Flare will also use the XRP address and encryption system to provide XRP users with a virtually seamless way of interacting with smart contracts on the Flare network. So the company's mission, of course, is bringing the adoption of XRP beyond the world of payments, and they're going to integrate this next quarter. So very, very interesting and good news. All right, everybody, I'm jumping to some fluff. So yeah, I know, food again, but this is such a food-centric country, and with all the time that people have on their hands and the creativity and the amazing talent, this is Manami Sasaki, and she has a Instagram site and also her Twitter site where she's posting her toast art. This is amazing. This is a card game that dates all the way back to the 1200s during the Heian period, where a poem or tanka is read out loud in the form of singing, and then two people compete to put their hand on top of the card first, and then the goal is to collect as many cards, and then you compare at the end who has the most. It's a very, very fun game, traditionally played at New Year's, but there is some serious competition in this country played for that game. And then here's another piece of her art, toast art. It's a Zen garden. Look at this. This just amazes me. And then we go to another card game called Hanafude in Japan, and it's a little bit different. It's, I think, dates to the Edo period, but she's taken the design from one of these cards and translated into her toast art. If you remember, I did a fluff video on shirasu, the little white sardine, the baby sardine that is in the Sagami Bay near Kamakura, Chigasaki, and that area about 50 minutes south of Tokyo by train. Anyways, it's yummy, yummy, yummy. But it's just so beautiful. This is, of course, the crane that migrates to the northern part of Japan. And the last one, I think everyone will really appreciate if you followed the fluff. It's the crest or the moon, which is so beautiful. And she's done it, it looks like, with cucumber. Can you believe it? Look at this work of art. I don't think you could eat it. Anyway, I'm going to put a link to her Twitter site in the description below, and you'll enjoy seeing all the beautiful designs that she's made. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.